Guys, something I want to share with you. I recently came across a type of Trojan because I've noticed a certain activity on my Monzo account. Those of you that know me, I live in the UK and I use Monzo for some of my day-to-day activities, just like every other person like me. So basically, I use it for online purchases, and I've been noticing some funny activities going on in the account, and that kind of gave me a kind of concern, and I decided to make a research about it, and I discovered that there's been a recent hack called Trojan Banker. I know there are many types of Trojan, but this is the first time I'm actually hearing about Trojan Banker. So I had to write about it as to share with my online community in Smart Business Africa. And I'm going to use this script to into Notebook ML, and let's see what the Notebook ML is going to tell us about the script, about what we can learn from Notebook LM using this script. But just before I start, just going to show you the type of activities that I noticed. So I see some websites asking for money from my account, and when I noticed this, first of all, it happened for, at some point, and I had to contact my bank, and they made a refund. And so when I noticed this, I quickly moved my money out of the account. And you can see these are alerts, red alerts. People, like the Trojan or the whatever malware trying to withdraw money from my account. So, well, by the way, I'm just trying to tell you what made me write about the Trojan Banker. And we're going to feed this script to Notebook ML and see what Notebook ML is going to tell us about the script. And then after this, we're going to have two AI talk about this script that I've made, and you see how it's how interesting, how interactive the Notebook ML makes that script. So join me. It's a very interesting topic. It is very interesting. Trust me, you're going to learn a lot of things from this video. I'll see you soon. Starting with a quick overview, we're going to upload our script to Notebook LM, and we're going to click on New Notebook to upload our file. So first of all, choose File. We're going to use Google Docs, so we'll click on Google Docs, and we choose our file, click Insert. It will quickly generate some summary and a list of suggestions, like list of these things that you can see by the side. So we're going to quickly run through this list so that we go to the fun part. But first of all, let me just go through and see, just show you a walk around. We can walk around and see what's going on the screen. And we have the frequently asked questions, study guides, table of contents, timeline, briefing document. So we can click on any of them and see how Google Docs, how Notebook LM generates these things, and we can just click on generate conversation, and it's going to generate an audio conversation, which is the fun part of this tutorial. We're going to get back to that audio file later, but first of all, let's just see what the study guide and the frequently asked questions looks like. It's just going to take a while and generate the study guide, table of content. Let's see which one comes out first. And let's see, let's take a while to load. It's generating the document and it's generating the text. It's going to pop out in a few minutes. Let's see what's going to do. But you can add select all, you can add notes, you can view chats. Okay, it's popped out now. So it's generated some table of content, and you can see that it's nicely arranged, it's well arranged, and all you can do is just copy this and go and paste it in your preferred maybe document file or wherever you want to store it. So this is very nice, and we're just going to from here jump straight into the podcast. That is actually mind-blowing. So you want to go and see what the AI says about this document that we've just uploaded. So let's go there. Once the audio is generated, click on these three dots here to review the download button. Click download to download. And the next thing is click on the play button to play the audio.
Okay, ever get that feeling when you're online? Like you're walking a tightrope between amazing possibilities and, uh-oh, should I click that? Moments.
It's a balancing act for sure. The internet's this incredible tool, but like any powerful tool, you gotta know how to handle it safely.
Exactly. And today we're diving into a topic that's seriously relevant to that feeling. Trojan bankers. These sneaky programs are out there trying to steal your digital treasure, your financial info, and we're arming you with the knowledge to fight back.
Think of this as your cybersecurity boot camp, By the end, you'll know how to spot these digital bandits a mile away and keep your online finances locked down tight.
Love it. Let's get started with the basics. What exactly is a Trojan banker? I was reading our source material, and they called them digital double agents, which sounds kind of cool and terrifying at the same time.
It's a perfect description, actually. Imagine downloading what seems like a harmless app or game. Maybe even just opening an email attachment, but hidden inside BAM malicious code, just waiting to strike.
So it's the classic Trojan horse trick, but in the digital world, you're fooled into letting the enemy inside your defenses.
Precisely. And once that Trojan banker's past your defenses, it can wreak havoc, stealing your passwords, logging your every keystroke, even redirecting your money during online transactions.
Which brings us to a story I read recently. This guy, let's call him John, got hit with a Trojan banker. He was online paying bills, thought everything was fine, but the next day his bank account was drained.
It's heartbreaking how often that happens. People work hard for their money, and these criminals just swoop in and take it in an instant.
It's scary stuff, and it makes you realize how important it is to understand how these things get into our systems in the first place.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, right? Our source breaks down 3 main ways. Trojan bankers try to infiltrate your system, phishing emails, malicious websites, and those shady software downloads from untrusted sources.
Let's break those down. First up, phishing emails. We hear about them all the time, but what makes them so effective?
They prey on our trust. Think about it. You get an email that looks like it's from your bank or a company you use all the time. They might say your account's been compromised or there's a problem with a recent purchase, urging you to click a link and verify your information.
And people fall for it.
All the time. They're designed to look legitimate, using official logos and language that creates a sense of urgency. But here's the thing. Legitimate companies will never ask for your personal or financial information via email.
That's a good thing to remember. So if you get an email that seems even remotely fishy, don't click anything. Don't reply. Just hit delete.
Exactly. Now let's talk about malicious websites.
Which are basically the digital equivalent of a back alley, right?
You got it. You might stumble across one by clicking a link on social media in an email, like we just talked about, or even through a compromised search engine result. These sites are often designed to look like legitimate websites, maybe a popular online store or a news site.
So you think you're in a safe space, but you're actually walking right into a trap.
Exactly. And that's when they try to trick you into downloading something you shouldn't, like a fake browser update or a malicious browser extension.
Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, so we've got phishing emails and malicious websites. What about those shady software downloads? We've all been tempted by free stuff online at some point,
Oh,
right?
for sure. And that's exactly what these attackers are banking on. They offer up free versions of popular software-cracked games or those too-good-to-be-true deals on software. But those downloads are often bundled with malware, including Trojan bankers.
It's like getting a free puppy, but then realizing it came with fleas. And maybe a taste for your furniture.
I love that analogy. It's tempting to cut corners and go for the free or cheap option, but when it comes to software, sticking to official sources is crucial.
So to sum up our infiltration methods, watch out for those phishing emails, pretending to be your bank. Avoid clicking on suspicious links that could lead to malicious websites. And always, always download software from trusted sources.
You got it. Now let's say a Trojan banker does manage to sneak past your defenses. What happens next? This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, so we've talked about those digital double agents slipping past our defenses. But before we panic, is there any way to tell if we've been infected? Like, do Trojan bankers trip any alarms, or are they invisible once they're in?
They're sneaky, for sure,
Okay.
but not invisible. Think of it this way. Even the stealthiest burglar leaves some kind of trace, right?
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
Oh.
So what are the digital fingerprints that a Trojan banker might leave behind?
Well, one of the most obvious is weird stuff happening during your online banking sessions. Maybe you see unexpected pop-ups, or your browser suddenly redirects you to a page that looks almost right, but something's off about the web address.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. It's like that feeling of being watched,
Right.
but you don't know who's doing it.
Exactly. And that feeling's your cue to slow down, take a breath, and double-check everything. Make sure you're actually on your bank's website, not a clever fake. Look for misspellings in the address bar, that sort of thing.
Right, because those fake sites are designed to trick you into entering your login info, which goes straight to the bad guys.
Precisely. Another red flag is new software you don't remember downloading or installing. It's like finding a strange object in your house. You know it doesn't belong there.
Okay, so strange website behavior and mystery software installations. Got it. Any other signs we should be on the lookout for?
One that often gets overlooked is sluggish performance. If your computer suddenly slows down, starts crashing more often, or your fan's running hot, even when you're not doing anything demanding that, that could be a sign that a Trojan banker is running hidden processes in the background.
Ah, so they're like those energy vampires sucking up all your computer's resources. Makes sense.
Perfect analogy. Now let's shift gears a bit. Knowing the warning signs is important, but prevention is key, right?
Absolutely. It's like that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So how do we build up our defenses and keep those Trojan bankers at bay?
Our source talks about creating a cybersecurity arsenal, which I think is a great way to think about it. We're arming ourselves with the tools and knowledge to fight back.
I love that. So what's the first weapon we're adding to our arsenal?
First and foremost, a good antivirus program. This is your first line of defense, like having a highly trained guard dog patrolling your digital property 24/7.
Okay, so where do we find this guard dog? Any specific breeds we should be looking for?
There are a lot of reputable brands out there. The key is to choose one that's well-reviewed, offers real-time protection, and makes it easy to schedule regular scans.
And regular scans are important because,
Think of it like taking your guard dog to obedience school. It keeps their skills sharp. Those regular scans help your antivirus software stay updated on the latest threats and keep your system protected.
got it, regular training for the guard dog. What else do we need in our cybersecurity arsenal?
Next up, the firewall. This one's a classic, and for good reason. Imagine a firewall as a gatekeeper standing guard at the entrance to your network, carefully scrutinizing everything that tries to come and go.
So it's like a digital bouncer only letting in the good traffic and keeping the bad stuff out.
Exactly. And the good news is most operating systems come with a built-in firewall. Just make sure it's turned on and configured properly.
If we want extra protection, we can always hire a second bouncer, right? Like one of those fancy multi-layered security systems.
Exactly. You can get a hardware firewall, which is a physical device that connects to your network, or a software firewall, which is an application that runs on your computer.
Okay, so we've got our guard dog, antivirus, and our bouncer firewall. What else are we packing in this arsenal?
Anti-spyware software is another must-have. If our antivirus is the guard dog and the firewall is the bouncer, think of anti-spyware as the detective sniffing out hidden threats that the others might miss.
So it's like a three-pronged defense, protection, access control, and investigation. I like it.
Exactly. And here's a bonus tip. A lot of antivirus suites include anti-spyware features, so you might not even need to download anything extra. Just make sure you're getting comprehensive protection.
All right, we got our cybersecurity arsenal locked and loaded. But for argument's sake, let's say a Trojan banker did manage to slip through our defenses, like a digital ninja somehow. What do we do then? Is damage control time, right?
Got it. Time for digital detox, but with a purpose. Our source has a 5-step plan for these exact situations, and the faster you act, the less damage these digital thieves can do.
Okay, lay it on me. What's the first move?
Step 1, and this is crucial. Disconnect from the internet immediately. Think of it like pulling the plug on a runaway robot. You're cutting off its communication and its ability to take orders from its creator.
So no more browsing, no online shopping, no frantically Googling. Help, I've been hacked. Got it. What's next?
Step 2, time to deploy that guard dog we talked about. Run a full system scan with your antivirus program. Not just a quick scan. We're talking the deep dive, no stone unturned.
Okay, full system scan engaged. We're rooting out that Trojan banker and any of its little digital accomplices.
Precisely. Now, while that's running, we move on to step 3, which is probably the most important. Change all your passwords.
Yeah.
And I mean all of them. Banking, email, social media, even that online pet supply store you haven't used in months.
Wait, why even bother with the old accounts? If the Trojan banker is focused on my bank accounts, wouldn't that be enough?
Here's the thing. These guys are sneaky. They might try to use your compromised info from one account to break into others. Especially if you're guilty of using the same password for multiple sites, you'd be surprised how common that is.
Ouch, good point. Okay, changing all the passwords. But here's another question. What if the Trojan banker is watching what I'm doing even when I'm changing my passwords?
Excellent question. That's why you don't change them on the infected device. Use a different computer, your phone, even a friend's device. Anything you're confident is clean.
Smart. Like borrowing a neighbor's phone to call the cops if your own line is tapped.
Exactly. Now, once those passwords are changed, it's time for step 4. Contact your bank and any other financial institutions you do business with. They have entire departments dedicated to dealing with fraud and security breaches.
So they've seen it all before.
You bet. They'll help you monitor your accounts for suspicious activity, and they might even have procedures in place to help recover any lost funds.
That's a huge relief.
Yeah.
Okay, we've disconnected, scanned, changed passwords, and contacted our bank. What's the final step?
Step 5 is about that extra peace of mind. If you're still concerned, or if the Trojan banker was particularly stubborn, consider getting professional help. There are cybersecurity experts who specialize in malware removal.
Like a digital exterminator coming in to make sure every last trace of the infestation is gone.
Perfect analogy. They can dig deep into your system, clean out any lingering malware, and give you that all clear. You might need to feel totally secure again.
This has been eye-opening. We've gone from feeling vulnerable to feeling empowered, equipped with the knowledge and tools to fight back against these digital threats.
And that's what it's all about, taking control of your digital life. It's not about living in fear of the internet, but understanding the risks and making smart choices.
Absolutely. Big thanks to you for breaking this down so clearly and for all the practical advice. And to all of you listening, stay vigilant, stay curious, and stay safe out there in the digital world.